Okay, as promised, here we are with the Dreaming Way Lenormand. This deck was published by US Games, and the artwork is done by Quan Sheena. Quan also did the Dreaming Way Tarot, which was just a smashing success. And the book is written by Lynn Araujo, and I do apologize if I just butchered that last name. So I'm super excited to share this deck with you, and let's get started. So it comes in this lovely box, which is just gorgeous, and it also gives you a really good glimpse of what the card images look like, or at least the style of the illustrations, and I have to say Quan did a beautiful job. The box is a very nice size. You can definitely keep your deck in here and carry the box with you, knowing full well and having confidence that your deck will not be damaged in any way. There was one downside to this box actually, and that is the ability to actually open it. It is an incredibly snug fit, and I really struggled personally quite a bit with opening, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's some fingernail damage there along the edges. So let's get it open. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to sit here and fuss and fidget with it, but I did. I struggled a little bit with it, and perhaps in time the box will be easier to open. But overall, a great sturdy box, and one that definitely isn't going to wear and tear. And it's perfect for storing in your bookshelf. So I liked that a lot. So next, let's talk about the book. You know, it's not uncommon in a lot of decks to get this flimsy little minuscule, what we like to call in the industry, little white book. But what I liked about this book was it had a nice cover, color cover. It is bound very nicely, and while there are no images within the book, it does give you nice descriptions, and we'll go through the book here. So the first part of the book gives you an introduction to the US Games and the feedback, I'm sorry, not the feedback, but kind of a little bit of the background on how the Dreaming Way Lenormand came into fruition. So that was kind of interesting to read. Next, it goes right into the cards and gives you not only the title, but also the playing card equivalent, and gives you a bit of background, or not necessarily a history of the card, but kind of helps to illustrate the card in your mind. So for example, the Rider card brings positive news and change. What's also exceptionally important is it also provides you with the important keywords for your deck. And with each card, and I love this little aspect, was a quote that says, "Dare to live the life you have dreamed for yourself, so go forward and make your dreams come true," by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So very nice touch. So let's go through the book. And again, you can see it gives you all of the descriptions, and again, more phrases or quotes. Here's one by Confucius: "You cannot open a book without learning something." I love that. So then when you go to the end of the book, it gives you some sample spreads, starting with a very simple beginner spread, then into a more complex spread and how to interpret that spread. The next is the spiral spread, and this was one I had actually never heard of, and I was really super excited to learn more about it and actually to give it a shot. As you can see here, it's a spiral, and each card reads on the other, so I thought that was really cool, and I'm excited to give it a try. So nice little book. Again, you can see the size of it. It's very stout, very well put together, so no worries about this thing falling apart. Okay, so now the exciting part. Let's get right to the deck. So here we go. All right. So it comes with a nice little title card. One of the things that I noticed right away is there is a slight gloss to it, but not enough to be distracting, and definitely not enough to be a problem when you're reading outdoors in bright sunlight, or sometimes if you're at an event and it's indoors and you have fluorescent lighting. It can make it really challenging because the glare off the cards can be really tough to see them. So The card stock is actually, for me, very, very nice. They're flexible, but they're not so thick that you are going to have a challenge shuffling, but they're also not so paper thin flimsy that you'll be disappointed. I purchased a deck some time ago and spent quite a bit of money on it and was so excited to get to it. And I gotta tell you, I was really, really saddened because the cardstock was so flimsy that I just had to put the deck away, because I know after a short time of readings, the cards would fall apart. So in my drawer it went, and I pull it out occasionally to look at it, but I will probably never use it for readings. So that's what's nice about this deck. So let's go through the cards. So here we have the Rider. That is just so cute. And the Clover card. One of the things that I like about this deck, and that is really important with your Lenormand decks, is to have the image or the symbol to be right there. Straight up, clear cut. There's no question that this is a clover. There's not a whole bunch of other stuff in the background that can be confusing. And this is really important when you're doing a grand tableau, because you have 36 cards out and you need to be able to see the cards for what they are right away. Just like that. So here's your clover. Oh, look at the ship. Isn't that cute? Oh yeah, I love that. And the house. Oh no, that's quaint. Look at the cute little smoke coming out of the chimney. Ah, the tree card, a very nice card, and exceptionally rich and vibrant in its blossoming and branches. Love it. The clouds. One thing that I do have to say that I was a little disappointed about with this card is in Lenormand, I do read the directional of the clouds. So in some decks, you'll have the clouds being really dark and ominous on one side, and you can see them breaking up and showing sun on the other side. And depending on the cards on either side of the clouds, determine whether or not that challenge or that issue or that problem is coming in or going away. Nonetheless, this again is it's a cute card. And here we have the snake, and unfortunately you can already see that my cat has gotten to the cards. I guess that means he really, really, really likes them. And oh, look at the coffin. This is cute. I do have to wonder, did this person put themselves in there willingly and voluntarily or involuntarily? But it's a sardine can. One thing I noticed right off the bat is the deck is very whimsical, so it's really kind of quite fun. Oh, the flowers are really pretty as well. And the scythe, I do like the scythe. Also with this card, I read it's directional, so whatever direction the blade is pointing, the card that it is pointing to is indicative of whether or not it is a quick cut or quick end. So I do like how clear the scythe is and the direction it's pointing. We have our whips. We have the whip and the birch rod. Oh my God, look how cute that is. Oh, I love this. Again, incredibly cute, very, very whimsical. That is just too cute. And the child. Ah, the sly fox. Nice card. The bear. The stars. And again, there is no question what this card is representing. Love the just boom. Those are stars. Oh, the stork. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see, but the stork has a little nest with some eggs on the top of his head. Look at that. This actually happens to be my favorite card in the Lenormand deck, and that is the dog. And this card really, really conveys, sorry for the glare, conveys the relationship of our dogs and the love and the companionship and the loyalty. That's a fantastic card. The tower. What's interesting is in Lenormand, the tower card is not the same as it is in tarot. One thing I'm sure you've probably noticed is, again, the images look very watercolored. They're very soft, very subtle, lots of pastels. And this would be an absolutely wonderful deck for public events or parties where people aren't used to having their cards read, because none of these images are intimidating or frightening. They're really quite fun. Definitely they're eye candy for sure. This is the mountain. It kind of looks like a giant cactus. I'm not sure about that card, but again, kind of fun. Ooh, the Choices card. In more traditional Lenormand decks, this is called the Crossroads, which again is the same as this one's titled here, Choices. But I really love how this image conveys the complexity of choices that we are sometimes faced with in life. This one is a cool card. The mice. Now here they look really incredibly cute, but in Lenormand the mice are not cute. The mice are very, very bad. But gosh darn, it's kind of hard to not like these little guys. The heart. There is no question of what that is. The ring. Oh, look at the cute little family in the house. The book. Oh, one really kind of cool thing about this card is the doorway into the book. I love this imagery because it can convey all kinds of meanings, such as doorways to answers, doorways to secrets, things revealed. That's pretty cool. The letter. The man. In other decks, he's also called the gentleman. And in this deck, this is the lady. What I do like about this deck is if you are one who does read Lenormand and you do use some directionals when it comes to your significator cards, which would be the man and the woman, what I like about these is they can either be not looking at each other or looking at each other. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Okay, now let's get back to the deck. Oh, lilies. Very nice. Ooh, the sun. This one automatically just makes me feel incredibly warm, incredibly radiant. I really like it. You can almost feel the heat coming off of that card. It's a very nice card. The moon. Oh, I like the key. Nice, very nice. Fish. Anchor. That's kind of an interesting take where it's a tattoo actually on someone's arm. And normally you don't ever see that. You just usually see the anchor just kind of by itself on a sandy beach. So interesting. And last but not least, the cross. Again, this deck is very nicely illustrated. The images are clear and concise. There is no question what they are. Another thing that I like about it is there are no borders. I don't like borders on any of my decks. So if this is a deck that you are attracted to and you like and you do get it, by all means, please comment below. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. So thank you so much for stopping by, watching, and visiting, and don't forget to subscribe. And again, this was the deck review by the Eclectic Muse of the Dreaming Way Lenormand. Love you, bye.